كم زي تفترنا خويننا قادو خويننا قادو أبو زخوننا أتألدو
بسلا وسيخنا زينة صف نوعات مثلنا تغيروا بمقت قربتنا تقففوا برسحات مسموتنا انتنبعكم أبي كنرئو بجاكم بسحلنا خوننا مردو
سمعنا مرة خفت حفاش عالم يقالح تزولنا يو سقم فطراتنا نحناون كم سبنا وساني بصيحو ناهيوتنا أفركبو وحاسوننا
أستوعي الحزبي أيترأيو خم حلمي نبقس نحبر بزلنا عقمي ننقفهم حدرا خابنا يسقاي شخمي أنا نبل حزبي إيدي إيدكا حسنا خيتوفوف قادو برخا
فتحوا كوسينا سمعنا وقنا به وتكلنا تطدميتنا دمص خابلنا እኔ የትግራይ ልጆች በአሸባሪው ህወሓት ከየቤታቸው እየለቀመ ያለ ዕድሜያቸው በጦር ሰልፍ መካከል ያቆማቸው ብዕርና ደብተር እያስጣለ ጠበኝ
All right. Sorry, guys, for the little delay there, but hey, listen up. It is 3-day. We had a 3-day, Labor Day weekend. We're preparing for, obviously, you all know, for the biggest international protest. I want to welcome you to Cyber Power of Tigray Media. For those of you internationally, for some of you it's morning, for some of you it's evening. I'm live here in Houston, Texas, with my twin brother. Let me rotate the camera here. There you go.
How you doing?
That's
Wait,
Danny.
Who's Mike? Oh, what?
Oh, okay. We're going to try to figure out.
All right.
Abby, can you tell?
Danny,
Who's Mike?
Mike.
Who's Danny? No?
Hey, guys.
You already know us too much. All right, so you guys, we got Abby from Portland, Oregon. That's my hometown, obviously, but I'm the opposite side of the country right now. We're covering the United States of America, and I know we have to go everywhere around the world. Tomorrow, when you wake up, each and every one of you, I pray and hope, you'll be out protesting for one thing, together, united. Tomorrow's work, we should all X out our job and fight for our people, because if you saw the report today, 150 Tagaru have died of starvation. I understand that when you hear that, that's sad. I get it. But you know what? If we don't fight for them, if we don't fight for us, for our people, it's ethnic cleansing, pure and simple. The African Union, the United Nations, when we hear all this bureaucracy, they're not there to protect us. They're not there looking out for Tagaru. We, Tagaru, for Tagaru, first and foremost. Tigray first, Tagaru first. That's how we have to fight it. So, Abby, welcome to the Cyber Power of Tigray.
Thank you so much for having me. Blessed to be here.
Thank you. You're welcome. So, we're going to, basically, our focus is this. We're going to try to add like a mixture of like some fun stuff that we got to get our people energetic. We got, we can't just be crying and sad and all these things. But I want us to talk about SJTE, Security and Justice for Tigrayans. What it's been doing, what it's doing now, and what we expect and hope to be doing for Tigray, working alongside with Tigray government. So for those of you who are not familiar with SJTE, it's an organization that stands for Tagaru everywhere around the world to fight. There we go. Jamal just joining us now. Welcome, Jamal. What's up, buddy? We're just starting.
Nice. Good.
Welcome.
I just ran home.
You're good. Hey, perfect timing, buddy. So So we got Gemma from Los Angeles. So we just started, but you know what? Even though we didn't physically see each other, Gemma and I actually kind of crossed each other in Sudan. So he knows the struggle all the way deep, our people in Sudan. So I just briefly mentioned about what SJTE has been doing and what we're going to be talking about SJTE, but primarily the protest that we're going to have tomorrow. I was saying to everybody, when you wake up tomorrow, we should expect every Tigrayans around the world, instead of going to work, pack up and get your signed black t-shirt, hopefully something with Tigray on it or something in this matter, supporting our troops, speaking for our people, and reminding people the atrocities in Tigray. And we cannot allow Turkey to sell drones to Ethiopia. The same way when Ethiopians, the Amhara particularly, was telling America, when America says no genocide in Tigray, they were saying hands off Ethiopia. So to the Turks, to the Turkey government, we say hands off Ethiopia. Let the battlefield on the ground determine the outcome if Abiy Ahmed continues to ethnic cleanse the Tigrayan people throughout Ethiopia and in Hamara particularly. So with that, Abby, I know you've been doing a lot of behind closed doors. Of course, you've been out protesting with us, so I don't need to say much about that. But the difficult work that you and others, young Tagaro diaspora, has been tasked with to ensure flyers are produced on time, chant is organized together. I remember when I saw and met Jamal in, I think it was in New York at the beginning of this year. I saw the energy in him. And I've said this before, I'm going to repeat one more time real quickly. I saw him, I was like live on cyber recording on the top of a pickup truck. And when I saw him chanting without a mic, I said, you know what? I like that guy. Somebody's got to give him the mic. Because he just had the energy, the pure heart. And ever since, of course, when Denny joined us, the movement just continued. So the young diaspora, the fight that we put on, as a result, we shut down 30 plus embassies around the world. We stopped 172 million US dollars from going to the dictator in Ethiopia, 89 million euro in Europe, or millions in dollar, if I'm not mistaken. And the list goes on and on. Just recently, one of the Ethiopian embassy in West Africa or Northeast Africa was closed also. Our Eritrean troops have been interfering in Tigray from day one. We heard when Eritrean generals were killed in Tigray, they were announcing saying they've died of COVID. And the COVID that we know today is TDF for them. But nonetheless, I want to stay on track. And I want Gemma to jump in on that later. But so coming back to you, Abby, please talk to us the work that you had to do with the team that we have mobilized around, obviously the Pacific Northwest, but around the nation, and what SJT has been doing. And then I'll jump back to Gemma, and then I'll swing here to Danny, Mike, Danny, whichever. I don't know. Gemma might get confused here. Who's Danny? Who's Mike?
Gemma knows.
Damn, Gemma already knows. Abby, go ahead, please.
Sure, no problem. Yeah, and thank you for the introductions. And hi, Jamal, as well. So, yeah, I guess I'll address the latter point first, kind of what SJT has been doing. They're responsible for a lot of galvanizing efforts within our community. Leading up to the global protest, there was, a particular strategy in mind to kind of galvanize us and to make sure that, we're speaking to our community properly and just relaying the sense of urgency that is absolutely 100% needed at this time due to the imminent threat of the drones, but also due to a number of factors that have, including famine conditions, all of these different factors that we just need to address together. My apologies. My alarms go off every day, all day. So they've been doing a lot of great work. We're organizing, they've coordinated with Australia, Canada, Europe, so many different countries, different cities, and we've all kind of just decided this is the time that we need to come together to make our voices heard globally. So they've been a huge facilitator of that. And then leading up to the protests, we can kind of get into the action items more in depth a little bit later, but a huge part of making impact for, this protest is one, making sure that we're exercising all possible advocacy avenues. So our Twitter campaigns with everyone should be familiar with at this point. A really exciting joint effort today from United Tagaro Canada, Stand with Tigray, Omna Tigray, Irab, Aina, and Tigray Youth Network. They all came together and collaborated on a joint Twitter campaign. So I would encourage anybody, you can go to United Tagaro Canada, Omna, you can find your templates there, finish all of them, send to 5 friends. There's also a petition, SJTE. We should get 50 to 100,000 signatures on that. It's in their link tree, but we can kind of come back to that. But those are just some examples of, how we've been strategizing to make the most impact leading up to this global protest, which is tomorrow. So I hope I relayed, the importance of, all of us coming together, and SJT is, responsible for a lot of work in terms of advocacy and diplomacy. So it's a blessing to be able to work with some of those constituents who work day in, day out. They don't sleep. So yeah, just very grateful for them. And yeah.
Thank you, Abby. So just quickly, the work of SJT is not just leading the movement as far as preparing letters, preparing chants, but also working with all walk of life. So from the young to the old, working together, unity is the key. And SJTE has been determined to work side by side, hand in hand with the government of Tigray. So when we talk about SJT, Security and Justice for Tigrayans, this should be empowering us, Tagaro, regardless of our paper citizenship, regardless of what nation or country we reside. So I want to make sure and emphasize this. And so for those of you who may not heard of or are not aware of what SJTE is or what it does, reach out to us. Stay tuned. We're going to talk more about it like in the futures to come, obviously. But when we manage to fight during the early stages of the protest, it was SJT primarily preparing all those letters that we have to present to our congressmen, congresswomen, to the State Department, to the embassy of United Arab Emirates to stop the drones. As a result of working in coordination with SJT, initially it was SJTE because the organization, when first started way before the war started in Tigray, it was actually Security and Justice for Tigrayans in Ethiopia, because the inhumane and ethnic cleansing, ethnic targeting for Tagaro started before the war started actually in Tigray throughout Ethiopia. And then we recognize the magnitude and the crisis that took place in Tigray. So we focus on security and justice for Tigrayans that included all Tagar from all over the world. And as we can see it today, we see the atrocity that is taking place in Saudi Arabia and other places we can go on. But Jamal, you've been at the protests every single day. We got one tomorrow internationally, but I know LA, I apologize that I did not make it down to LA, obviously, because I'm a West Coast guy. But I know that Houston has been working at the very beginning, and they've asked for us to come and help them, Danny and I. So it's nothing against LA, love LA, but we got LA, we got San Francisco. So we got two big ones in the West Coast, and of course throughout the country, throughout the world. And hopefully Portland is trying to do like a mini one tomorrow. But we've been voicing that for those who do not have embassy or consulate in their communities to go to the big ones. And I've been saying it from day one. Go to LA. If you can't make it to LA, come to Houston. That's been my message. But if you're in the West Coast, It's very easy to get yourself a ticket, fly down to LA, join our community in LA. I'm going to let you take over, Jamal. I know you got Ma'bad on there, but I have to call you Jamal because that's
Yeah, man. You can call me Jamal. How you guys doing?
good, good.
Good, man.
Sorry I came late. Like I told you, just preparing everything for tomorrow. So I'm still busy right now. I just stopped by because you asked me to stop by, and I'm gonna get back to work basically. But yeah, the work that you were saying SJT is doing is amazing. Like you said, from the beginning of the protest, they've been doing a lot of work, and that's majority of the chants that you guys hear us using, majority of the slogans you guys hear going around. They didn't just come out of nowhere. You know, there was people behind it. Majority in SJT and other organizations as well. But the protest for tomorrow, we have organized it really well. We have three different events. One, in the morning, we're gonna go to the Turkish embassy, and the Turkish embassy here is pretty big. It's not Turkish embassy, Turkish consulate, but it's big. It almost operates like an embassy. So we're gonna go there at 10 o'clock, and we're gonna make our voices heard. We have the direction from SJT and different organizations on the slogans. We have also relayed the last moment addition to this protest, like black umbrella and black clothes came last moment. So if you guys see wearing some people wearing not black, excuse it, because it was a last moment thing that came out. So, but we did push it as much as we can to people. And yeah, we have the whole Vegas joining us. Vegas just called me today and said they have over 100 people coming here. Uh, a lot of Arizona will be joining us, and the whole San Diego will be joining us. And we got people from Denver, people from Seattle also be joining us. Not the whole community, but some people. So we're hoping that we're expecting it to be a big protest and pass a big message. So the same way we twisted UAE arm into stopping it, because they didn't stop because they cared for us. At the end of the day, it was what we were doing uh, put too much pressure on them, and the U.S. was able to twist their arm and stop using the drones. So even though Turkey is not a U.S. ally, we can still twist their arm too. All we have to do is, let them know and let the rest of the world know what they're doing is going to have a huge consequence. They might repeat Armenian genocide. They might repeat something even worse than Armenian genocide. So we're trying to let them know, if you guys are selling these drones, whether it's for money, whether it's for any special interest that you have in Ethiopia, whatever it is, it's not going to be bigger than human lives. It's not going to be the consequences that's going to happen after the war. So no matter what gain Turkey is going to get out of this, it's not, it's not going to replace all the lives that's going to be lost, and that's going to go back on Turkey. So that's our message. We want Turkey to know that what they do is not only going to kill our people and affect our people, but it will come back at them too. They will be on history as, for the second time, providing drones that committed genocide, and it will be written in the history books. So the sooner we let them know that, hopefully the sooner they will stop, willingly or unwillingly. But that's the goal that we have, is we want to pass our message strong enough to where they have to stop this, because we've seen what drones did to other people like the Armenians. And we also seen what drones did to our people, Tigrayans, when the UAE provided those drones. So we're trying to stop this from happening. We have already lost 200,000 people, civilians, that is, Tigrayan civilians, 200,000 plus. And with this drone, it could be something that has never been done in recent history, and I don't think the world is ready to see anything like this, because it's going to be devastating. It's already devastating, but pushing it further than it is already, it's going to be very devastating. So that's one thing we want to do. And then the other thing we want to pass is the embassy will close at 12, but we'll hang around a little bit. So it's from 10 to 12. So that's why we urge everybody to come exactly at 10, because they will close at 12. So this is not Habesha timing. Like if you come 12, it'll be done. Like, you know what I mean? We don't have that choice because they're going to close at 12. But from 12 to about 1, we're going to have protests. Just it's a very popular area. So even though they're closed, we're going to continue our protest. And that protest, we're going to concentrate on the other two issues, like opening the humanitarian corridor. If we heard some parts made it recently, but that is not enough. You know, that is not enough. We need more aid to get to Tigray. So we're going to push on opening the humanitarian corridor as well. And then the other one is we're going to push on all invading soldiers, like the Eritrean troops in Europe, like the Amhara militias and the Ethiopian military in West Tigray. We want them out of Tigray. That's what we're going to push for. We want the Humera massacre to stop. We want all the massacres in Europe, everywhere else in Tigray to stop. So we want all Eritrean troops out of Tigray and all invading Ethiopian or all militias involved in the Ethiopian war. We want all of them out. So these are the 3 messages we want to pass tomorrow. Just to summarize them, 1 is the drones, stop using the drones. 2 is open humanitarian corridor. And the 3 is free Tigray. Leave all parts of Tigray, all soldiers, all parts of Tigray. So pass. But after that, we'll have around 2 o'clock, we'll have a fundraiser park event. It will be fun. It will be Tigray food over there, you know, tips and everything. You know? And we're gonna just get to know each other because there's other people coming from other states and raise money for Tigray. Well, do that. We have different things. We have a very controversial thing that's gonna happen. We talked about it very deeply, and the challengers and the people that organized it do not want to back up. But I don't know if you guys know Crate Challenge. We're gonna do the Crate Challenge. Abby, I know you know it. Do you know what a Crate Challenge is, Mike?
All right, go ahead and tell us.
Okay, so Crate Challenge is to, you know, the crates, they try to cross it out. Okay,
Right.
so we're gonna do that. So, and we're also gonna be streaming it
But
live.
I gotta pretend like I don't know it, so other people that don't know it, you get to explain it.
There you go. So anybody that wants to see different people, we have about 7 volunteers. It's on the flyer, and you can offer money for instance, Mabrahtu is on the flyer, I think. So you could say, I got 100, 200 for Mabrahtu to cross the crate, whatever. So that's the plan that we have, just to keep things exciting. But we have took precautions too. The organizers that's doing this, they have made sure that they took the precautions they should. So we're gonna have pillows around them so people don't get hurt. We'll have a mattress at the bottom, so if they fall, they won't get hurt. So that is another thing we're gonna do, and we'll have different actions to auction out as well. And the third, yeah. So and then at night we'll also have an event, and pretty much that's the 3 events we have. But we urge everyone to show up as early as you can. Whoever is coming from neighboring places, make sure you come tonight. Most people came tonight, but if not, come as early as you can tomorrow morning. Yeah, so that's all about it.
Thank you, Jamal. So I might be able to swing by tomorrow night. So let's save me some food.
I got you. No worries.
So before, I know you got to go, but before you do, I'm gonna have a few, maybe 1 or 2 more questions. Hang tight. I got to ask my buddy Danny here. So he's been involved with the Houston protests. Obviously, when SJTE chairman Dr. Tucker reached out to me, I was in Vegas, and then Danny happened to be with me, so we had to jump on it. He had to reach out to the community in Houston and in Dallas and figure out that the biggest business that is Turkey owned happens to be in Houston, Texas. So I'm going to let Danny describe that real quickly, and then I'll come back to you, Abby, and then I'll go to Jamal, and we can wrap it up. So I know you guys got to get it going, but I appreciate you guys' time. So Danny, I know you've been, involved in every movement, doing the chant, and the list goes on and on. But the focus for tomorrow is for us, Tagaru, all over the world to come together to do what? Voice for our people, because our people continue to be ethnically cleansed in Tigray and throughout Ethiopia. So the message here should be tomorrow is what?
So, first of all, I'm honored to be fighting with you guys here, Abby, Jamal, my twin brother Mike. So I appreciate you guys for all that you do. So, what makes Houston's protest so unique is, as Mike mentioned, the largest Turkish businesses are here in Houston, Texas. So that's why we picked Houston, obviously. And then they also have a consulate office, as they do in Los Angeles. So here in Texas, we're fired up. We're ready to go. We have Oklahoma joining us, as well as Austin, Texas, San Antonio, of course, Houston, and then Dallas. Several of us are traveling from Dallas here to Houston. Mike and I are here in Houston with our brother Gabriel here from Oklahoma City. You'll see him here shortly. So our protest tomorrow will start at the consulate office. We're getting together there at 10 a.m. in the morning. We'll chant, we'll speak, we have speakers. Once we finish the consulate office, we're headed caravan protest all the way to downtown. That's an 8 mile radius. We'll be chanting. We'll have our cars decorated. Once we get to the federal building downtown, we'll park there. We'll march from the federal building after we do some chants to the businesses, to the Turkish businesses. One of them happened to be Shell Oil. We'll do more protests. We'll do more chants there. Again, like I say, Texas is ready to go. We're just so fired up. Once we finish, we'll march back to the federal building. From there, we're headed to Lucy Restaurant, Tagaro Restaurant at Lucy at Houston. We're headed there to have dinner. So it's an all-day event. Please, 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 Houston, show up. Dallas, it's only a 4 hours drive. We want you to drive uh, Austin, San Antonio, Oklahoma. We want you to come. And again, we're here to be a voice for our voiceless people. And our chants are focused on our protest is focused on the Turkish government supplying drones to Ethiopia, Abiy Ahmed. We're also, as Jamal said earlier, focused on asking all invaders or demanding all invaders leave West Tigray and all of Tigray, reconnect all of Tigray. And we're also going to be advocating for our people for because of the starvation, people are dying daily. So famine is one of the biggest uh, protests that we're doing tomorrow. So thanks for the opportunity, Mike. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Danny. I know I promised not to hold you guys for too long. Often we do 2-3 hour show here, so we try to keep it within, but hopefully within 45 minutes. So we got another 10 to 15 minutes to get in a few quick discussions here, and then I promise you guys we can wrap it up. Abby, you described about SJTE, the work that you've been doing. Tagaro women are still under tremendous stress. Still, genocide, rape is happening in Tigray. When I met you in December at the early protest, you gave like a passionate speech in Portland, Oregon, and you and I have been in touch ever since and out protesting ever since. Of course, Gemma and everyone else. I want to make sure people understand that we've been fighting together. We've been fighting for common goals, even if we have a different ideas, different opinions. Like Gemma and I had a great discussion recently, and just for us to come together in such way what inspired you to continue this fight?
Thank you so much. And yeah, thank you for your time too. You know, this is a huge opportunity for us as well to, you know, get these points across. I guess in terms of like what inspires me to keep going is really just the future, what I want for my people, what I want for myself, the type of culture I want to pass down to my children, what I want, what I care about being intact in terms of my heritage and in terms of, you know, our bloodlines. It's an existential threat in every way. The value, you know, advocacy is never convenient. It's not fun. This is not like a popularity contest. This is not like it's none of that. It's really just being realistic and realizing we're in the middle of an extermination plot, and they're trying to rid an entire people that happens to be us. So with that in mind, you know, we can reflect on the Holocaust, we can reflect on all these things, and a lot of people, you know, just referring to the speech what you're referring to that I made back in December, that was day 66. We're on what, day 300 plus. So even at that point, I was like, the Rwanda genocide, it took place in 100 days, right? Almost close to 1 million. I think it was like 800,000 to 1 million people were slaughtered in that time. We're on day 300 plus.
108 days to be exact today.
308 days, like just that fact alone. And we're still under so much blockage too, that we don't even have we have, you know, statistical estimates. We have certain things that will let us know who has been murdered already. I think Jamal already touched on 250,000 that we know of. But that number is only, you know, going to rise. It's only going to increase. Everything that, they're starving right now. You know, our people are starving right now. So back to your question, like there's nothing more important. There's nothing more important to me that I want to do with my time, because just on every level, the micro level, the macro level, as an individual, you know, I have a problem with people being hacked to death just on the basis of their ethnicity, regardless of who they are. Sure, my people, I'm going to stick up for them every time. But on a macro level, like Ethiopia, its destabilization would be the largest collapse in modern history. Like I'm not just saying that. Like well-studied analysts, professionals iterate this. It would because Ethiopia is 5 times the population of pre-war Syria. It would overshadow Yemen. It just on the biggest scale you can think of, we can't handle the ecological impacts. We cannot handle the huge migration patterns. Like our world, the way it's set up, it's not built for that. If there was a collapse in Ethiopia, which it's leading to because of the Abiy administration, you know, this is so it needs to come to an end in all fronts, and the world just needs to know this isn't good for anybody. But what we can do as people, as you know, as Tigrayans, as anybody who cares about other people, we need to take advocacy very seriously, and every day we need to do that. So a couple things that I just mentioned briefly that I want to plug real quick is the Twitter campaign, a joint Twitter campaign, kind of emphasizing the Canadian elections, but also touching on drones and the famine conditions and really just what is important to our people. So I want to highlight Stand with Tigray. I want to highlight Omna, United Tagaro Canada, Irab Aina, Tigray Youth Network. They all came together and are facilitating these templates. So every Tagaro, if you have a Twitter account, I don't know. If you don't have a Twitter account, I don't know what you're doing. Make one. But tweet out all those templates. Everyone that I listed, you can find them on Instagram easily. Tweet out all of them. That's the least we can do. That's the bare minimum. Doing stuff on social media, reposting. Don't get tired. Don't get discouraged. This is what we need to be doing. And then also the petition. Things about petition is, you know, we need to make sure that we're signing the ones that, you know, that are pertinent. So SJTE, has a current petition addressing the drones from Turkey. We need 50 to 100,000 signatures by tomorrow. That's the goal. Even if we don't meet that, that's fine, but keep signing it. Meet it by tomorrow, I mean. Keep signing it. We're gonna get to that goalpost. I'm not taking no for it. No one's taking no for an answer. We're gonna get to 100,000, 50,000 signatures. So keep sending to your friend. Huh?
How many?
So far, there's actually 2 petitions, right? So the first one, we're around, I think it's like 26K. That'll be found on SJTE's website. And then there was actually a new petition that was made. We're also trying to get signatures on that is updated in the SJT link tree. So all the action items, everything I'm talking about is updated daily. If you go to linktree/SJTegray, you'll find all the action items there. But there is 2 petitions now. Yeah, the more the merrier. We need to really be streamlined in that approach. But to answer your question, there's 2 petitions now. The other thing is donate to Mekate. Donate to the fundraiser, donate to TDA. That is the Bank of Tigray as we know it. So that's going to make a huge, and I'm sure Jamal can speak on this a little bit more too. And then also the fundraisers that you've been doing with, all of our refugees who need desperate help. So I guess the last thing I just want to say is make sure that every Tagaro, they're spending 2 to 3 hours a day doing advocacy, whether it be traditional advocacy, digital advocacy. If you still don't know, what you need to do or where you can fit in, or you're feeling a little bit lost, DM me personally. I will find you a place. I don't care who you are, we'll find out what works for you and where you can serve. SJT, also very receptive. All of our organizations, we're all willing to work together. So let's figure it out. And let's just stay encouraged. There's a lot of work to do here. And then also when this is over, God willing, whenever that is, we have a lot of work to rebuild too. So we can't be discouraged in any way.
Thank you, Abby. Jamal, obviously, I've been out on the streets more often with you than a lot of the people out there. I appreciate what you're doing in LA and the enthusiasm, the energy that you bring to the event. I predict within the next 10 days, Gondar and Desse will be under TDF control.
Let's do it.
What energy you got going for our people. I know it's hard time. I know it's difficult. And we always, I say this, me, we can't just continue to talk about everything but negative. The positivity is that TDF is, they're doing above, it's just, I don't even have words to describe the strength and the will and the ability of TDF. So help me out here. How do they dare to go this far and to simply take the vehicles, the tank included, the weapons from the very people who came to completely eliminate us from Tigray? And what's your message for our people all over the world, the young people particularly, because politics is often dirty?
Yeah, to your question about how are they doing it, they're superheroes, real life superheroes. You know what I mean? Not made up superheroes like Superman and Batman. These are the people that we're gonna teach our kids about, real life superheroes. That's the sarcastic answer, but the actual answer is, as we're backed by the truth. You know what I mean? We're backed by the truth, and they're backed by a lie. That's one. And then our motivation level is completely different. Ethiopian side and Eritrean side is fighting because they're told to fight. Some of them are fighting because they're hateful, Fano, hateful meaning they have so much hate for your ethnicity, they want to purify your ethnicity. And we're fighting to save ourselves. That's second one. And the third one is they came to our land. We did not go to their land. So when you have all of these, it's power. We have all the truth on our side. We have all the motivation on our side, because to our people, the choice of not fighting is dying, being home and getting raped, being home and dying, and not being able to do anything. So fighting is the better alternative in this case. So when that happens, um, it united our people, because it's our identity that's questioned. And when your identity is questioned, then you have two choices. One is to die, and the other one is to survive. Tigray people simply just chose to survive, and that's just how things work. But in addition to that, Tigrayans, we're just different. Like I was saying, I always say that, and I'm not saying different because all people are same. I understand, but we did not learn the same things. We did not live the same lives, and we're not facing the same problems we're facing now. So that's what makes people different. Tigray has always been questioned. Tigray has always been in war. Tigray has always been the gateway to Ethiopia. So we have spent hundreds and hundreds of years defending Ethiopian borders. So we are very tested. We have been through this, and we are unfortunately going through this again. And we keep going through this. And we are hoping this will be the last time we go through this, because uh, we want to build Tigray. We want Tigray to grow, and we don't want to see our kids find themselves in the same place we found ourselves now, because that's what my dad and mom used to tell me. They fought the 17 years struggle so we can live better. But look at this. I mean, yes, we're living better because we're in America, but you know they fought for Tigray to live in peace, and Tigray is not living in peace. So we have to try to understand what keeps throwing us back into this pattern. Yes, we know how to fight, but we should also learn how to stay in peace and not fight in the future. So in my opinion, I mean, it's just the love relationship we have with Ethiopia. It could be different in other opinion, but we have tried with the going forward with Behir Beherasab, like nation and nationalities getting along. But what makes a country? For example, like the Jewish, they have one thing in common: they are all Jewish. uh if you take Arabic countries, what do they have in common? They are all Muslims. If you take America, what do they have in common? We all speak English. What do we have in common in Ethiopia? Like, when you think about it, what do we have in common in Ethiopia? Do we all speak Amharic? No. Are we all Christians? No. Are we all Muslims? No. We don't even look alike, some of us.
All right. I think Gemma's having a little bit of technical issue. I'm gonna while you fix that, Gemma, I'm gonna throw in our guest here who's been patiently waiting. Maybe this round actually might help us to jump in and to add a little Tigrinya to the discussion. Sorry, Gemma,
Oh,
you were having technical issues, so I'm gonna
I
come
got
back to you. So hang tight with me here. We got Oklahoma folks here with us. So Governor Xav here, so if you can come closer to me here, I'm going to turn the camera towards you.
Mike. Mike, I was almost done, and that call I just got is very important. So you think I could just wrap up and go, brother?
Sure, go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah. So, I mean, I'm done. Like I was saying, just to answer your question, we are different because, I mean, TDF is the way they are because TDF is a product of Tigray. And as Tigrayans, we have been tested to win wars many times because always we are not the invaders. We get invaded. So that's the thing. But I hope we develop a culture of staying in peace as well. That's what we lack. And like I said, since Ethiopia, we don't have anything in common, then we should create a country that has everything in common. For example, like I was saying, Tigrayans, we might be Muslims and Christians, but we have our culture in common. and majority of us speak Tigrinya, even though we do have Kunama and other Iro and other tribes, but it's easier to manage 2 or 3 tribes than have 85 different ethnicities that cannot work with each other. So I think in the future we need to have free Tigray, and that might be the solution, in my opinion, because that's the only thing that has not been tried. But thank you, Mike. Everybody, just don't miss the protest. Come to every city that you're nearby, or go to your own city. Or if you're around here, join us. If you're around Dallas, join Houston. But thank you. I look forward to seeing you guys. And Mike, I'll see you
Don't,
another day. Thank you very
don't
much.
leave yet. I'm gonna have you one more thing to do in Tigrinya. So what you said about the difference between us and them actually is we are people. I don't want to say it in English, but نحن سوينا نسمع دقيقة وعقات اللي يزول لماني. So بتقدرني أخذ زارف زلزلة hang tight. It will be quick. نعم قبل زيار حوي. So كاب أوكلاهوما لما أنت قاش أنا وين هنا يس لزيو بعصوي نازيو يكرتا ياو كاب أوكلاهوما هذا وين كم سخا بحالة صعوتنا أنا نسودان خير ولا قارسم خير قرثات زي عالسمع زل كسوي خلنا كلم حيزون أوكلاهوما ناي جيم إن هاف أوفيس مسئنا بحادة سلام وصل في أكايدنا نيرنا هنا قدم إننا ناي صباح سمعت نعلم كنا سمع مناسكم زي قرم سوم زلها زلوا زلوا تسفانا أنت أيدين كنا عندنا ناهزنا على ملء زلوا دياسبرا يانغستر بتاعي
يعني اللي مجمّرة أنا وزي رايت بواركم يعني اللي تقولوا زلهم صلاتنا مجمّرة مرجعونا ياونا مرجعنا من كلاسي حدا خوينا خم حدا تجارو كلنا تزمن أبقصنا ويدما وكرني حزبنا وكرني حزبنا وريدو وزلو ناجينا سايد يكون خالي بحدا خوينا خم حدا تجارو خوينا تطويلنا بزلنا يو عالم زلنا يخونو عد زلنا بحدا تطويلنا تزي تقاليسنا زنجرزي خطفونا سلزخونو تمرجعنا مكلاسنا مكلاسي خالي مرجعون يبلنا سلازي تقوروا زلهم كلها يسخاتكم وطاقات after advocate قروا ذلهم سلام وسلفتات كله خاب جمر كساب حزي تيدهمكم keep up guys thank you what you doing and keep up كلنا نقروا ذلنا نعطل له كساب شجرنا تعرف مالتيو شجرنا كساب زي تعرفه حزبنا بطمية يموت له يساق له عطيهم منه on purpose كونه يلوم يوم عطيهم موت حزبي بتيت راح تكونه بطمية ونقاتلوه عطيهم منه بقوله تعلم دما بجكا كونسرن كالي تقبر يلان نحنا بعلنا تقاليسنا نزي نقر تزي عطفينا يو دفلنا يلنا نسخاتكم تقوروا ذلهم قتلوا له كلنا نقتلوا له جهم كل دلي عن يلا.
Thank you so much. Yeah, I know I promised you guys shorter, so I gotta let Danny say something in Tigrinya. I can't let him go. I know he was trying to run away from me, so I got him here. Danny.
Wow.
Tigrinya, of course.
But before I say that, before I do my Tigrinya, just a quick thing. We have Tigrayans, Tagaru, all over Ethiopia are being mass arrested still. Let's not forget that. And also losing their businesses, construction businesses are closed, even small coffee shops. So tomorrow's protest, everyone, please talk about our ethnicity matters. We need to speak about that. The other message I have real quick is that if you have the protest in your city, please show up. If you're in a driving distance to the protest site, drive there. If you can do a quick flight, please get there, but show up. That's my message. But with Sarafa, the highway, Miki Akanele, and Tagaru, Tigray Tseir.
Thank you, Danny. That's nice Tigrinya. And Danny goes Muhammad Rahmo. Yaw, Amharinya goes you, Ingrinya, of course, na. Tigrinya win, Harharigas is half for you anyway. There, the flyer there comes a worldwide protests. By Hulu Botawalan today, post Zeganayo, at Washington, D.C., at Chicago, at Portland, Winya, or Nabody, Nerum, and Hassel Nerum, at Boston, Unalanayu, of Detroit, Denver, Seattle, ያው ተወሰነ እውን ናብ ሎስ አንጀለስ ዘይኸዱ ናይ ፖርትላንድ ና ናይ ሲያትል ናብ ሎስ አንጀለስ ዘይመጹ ኣብ ዘለዎ የምናራት ንኽወፁ ኢና ሓሳባት መጽኡና ዘሎ ካብኡ እውን ሳን ፍራንሲስኮ ሎስ አንጀለስ ኦፍ ኮርስ ከቨር ጌርና ያለና ማያሚ ሂውስተን ናብ ጓዕና ደምሲና ኣለና ካንሳስ ካብኡ ከኣነ ይአይ ኣውስትራልያ ኣብ ዩሮፕ ሙሉእ እውን ክካየድ ምዃኑ Australia, Canada, so it's going to be everywhere anyway. Na akulla alam sila zkhone yaw izin nabalna I cannot skip, but Abi, I know that you grew up here. I understand, so I don't want you to feel like compelled or obligated that you have to speak in Tigrinya. But any message that you want to pass on to our people, Tigrinya, Bengizinya, bedes vela kwanka.
Yeah, anyway, it's بتعمي مسكين. I'm gonna leave the Tigrinya to Jamal. I know, yes.
You're good. You're good.
I know too. So go ahead, Jamal.
Yeah, يغني too, man. You know what I mean? Yeah, بقى يغني لنا بتعمي سلازة جابس كان نبزي مايك بقدامي خمسة والكايوون بقدامي تزراري بنا تردادينا هنا زي المددما عبزوح تجارو تزسرت صبغيو حدا شاب عفلا لنا تلو زي دما نورماليو مخناتهم زي شعتور حراخبات النمبر كاب استفلا لايف زمصانا هنا كلنا مالتي يو مايك زو عللو انا زو عللو انا استمهركو استمهرو سرحو انا سرحو عبيد سرحو استفلا ليو حبرتسباتنا نابزنا بحدا بوتا مصيومنا مالتي ስለዚህ استفلا طباي خلويو استفلا ملخاختا خلويو ግን ዳዝም ሚንዝስ ቆርጸና አለው እንዳተረዳዳና አመለኻኽታና ሒዝና ናይ ኻሊ አመለኻኽታ ከይጨፍለቅና ክንቀጽል ኣለና ኢለ ዝኣምን እዚ ምስማማዕና ድማ ብጣዕሚ ኣድላይ ነገር እዩ ትግራዋይ ምስ ትግራዋይ ምብላዕ ትግራዋይ ምስ ትግራዋይ ዘይምስምማዕ ታይዳ ተምጻልኦት ስርሖም ገዲፍና ኣሎም ይሉኒ ሓደ ዓባይ ዝፈልጦ ኣብዚ ናይትና ኮሚኒቲ ስኻትኩም ትጣልኡ ተኾንኩምስ ስርሖም ገዲፍና ኣሎም ነዚኦም ጻላእትና ኢሉና ሶ ትኽክል እዩ እዚ ስርሖም ነቕለሎም ኣለና ማለት እዩ ሶ ብዝተኸኣለ መጠን ከምዛ ኣብ ኩሉ ፈላለዩነት ክህልወና እንተሎ ንትግራዋይ ምድቋስ ንትግራዋይ ምውናን ንትግራዋይ ምጽራፍ ምንም ፋይዳ ይብሉን ንባዕሉ ንባዕላ ጸዊዕኹም ተጸዋዊዕኹም بدحريت تمايتكم تسمعيكم مقصال يا توانا سو زي اب تግርኛ ስለዝበልካ እዚ ቃል በትግርኛ حليفያ بخالق ቋንቋ خزارባ ወነ ይደለኹ ነይረ ግን በጣም አድላይት ስለዝኾነት ከማተ ንገብር ጽቡቕ እዩ ከምዛ አነን ማይክን ሓንተ ዲፈረንስ ነይራትና ተዘራሪብና ፈቲሕና ያ ከምኡ ምግባር ኩሉ ማለት እዩ ከምኡ ተገርና ምንም ዝፈላለየና ይህልውን ማለት እዩ በሓባር ጠሚርና ተቀጽልና ድማ ምንም ንዓና ከስዕረና ዝኽእል ሓይሊ ይህልውን ምክንያቱም ተዋና መፍረሲ ባዕልና ውሽጥና ክፈርስ እንተሎ እዩ ንጸላኢ ቀሊል ንገብረሉ ማለት እዩ ሶ እዚ ኣያት ሓንቲ ዘላትን መልእኽቲ ትግራይ ትዕወት ትግራይ ትስዕር and thank you Mike ሰርሖ ዘላና ግን ብዙሕ ሓሳብ ይርካየ Danny, I see you everywhere, bro. Thank you. I appreciate it. All the work that you do. And Abby, I appreciate the work that you do, especially Abby, not a lot of people see her because she does a lot of stuff behind doors. She comes to protest as well, but most of the jobs and works that she do is behind the scene. So we need to thank people like Abby and many more even that has not even been seen. But trust me, it's not only the people and the faces that you see here doing the work. We got many more behind doing the work. So thank you to all these Tigrayans that's doing the work. If it wasn't for you, if it wasn't for us, this wouldn't happen. So thank you very much. And Tigray Sa'ir, Tigray Ta'wat. Tigray will always prevail.
Yes.
Thank you, Jamal Hawaii. بتعمل صبوا قالت كايو قدمي under 1 hour ون كنشرش لازولكو كنشرش على عينا لتشرش على عينا تزول كايو ملختات حسابات ناب قانقانا زغيرنا يوين اتي نهاتنا بحلنا خبرتنا نساتهم كو ايديهم كفالة له عرس بعصم تواقعهم حد يوم يسر حد يوم هوسبيتال يخدون نحنا جن نسيكونن قد كل مكران هالوس نحنا وزيو علامنا حد يو نتقراي نهزبنا نخندحن نتقراي ناس عندنا نقبريو تقراي هاجر تكونيا بوز طارات تولي تقراي يكونن تقراي تكونتن زيب اين طارات ارولن قال سنا منجوري نو لا تيا ناي تقراي على ملوء زلو تقراي يخصنو نحنا تيقرينا مالتيو سلازيو what you guys are doing we are the future of Tigray. We are the diplomats for Tigray. Everybody plays big role. There's nobody that's small. There's nobody that's big from Tagaro. ناتنا كلنا عبيين يشتيز بهال يلا لومي. كلنا سمويانا كلنا سرحنا زلنا كنسحات لنا exactly one-on-one discussion ناقورنا شجرنا أبعلنا خنفوت حلنا ولدنا سلازمهرنا بسنا سرعات سلازعبينا سرسر نهاتنا سنة سرعتنا ونار إينا سلام ما صرف الوسط لنا ربيشنا حمانا قر سارحنا عين بتن هزمنا سلازيو صباح على ملوك الوسط لنا بسلام تبقيسنا بسلام كن عاص ولنا زينا وركو زرا خينوح. I appreciate you guys. I love you. Thank you so much for joining us. I know you got a lot of work going, and just keep it going. You know what? Tigray is winning. Tigray will prevail soon, and our people will be free once and for all. And Tigray will be called the Republic of Tigray because it will become a nation.
Amen. Amen. Take care, guys.
Thank you. Thank you, Abby.
So
Thank
much.
you, guys. And I appreciate you. So with that, for those of you who's been listening to us, we appreciate you as well. Have a good night and good morning wherever you are. And we'll see you out tomorrow all over the world. I should see social media exploding tomorrow with Tigray flag.
Yes.
Because Nihna Ramat Atina.
And continue tweeting, sign the petition, send to your friends, linktree/SJTE look up Tigray Times. We're all over social media, so stay tapped in, just do everything you can. But appreciate you guys so much. Thank you for allowing me to be in this space with you.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, guys.